Hey y'all, it's Jordan here today. So unfortunately I didn't get enough research doing because I basically just freed up my APC 40s and I want to try and mix in surround sound for my EP that's gonna come out till the, I think, beginning of the new year or like towards the very end. I'm not too sure because I'm working on the very last track and I'm mastering everything and yada yada yada. So I thought today we should make a pumping saw wave that you can use in Electro House. So right now you want to right click to create a combinator. We're actually going to use two subtractors. So before inputting the subtractors, I'm actually going to use the utilities and do a line mixer, and after the line mixer I'm gonna create the subtractors, two of them, by just clicking and holding Alt and dragging them down. Make sure they're both connected to the line mixer and they're all in separate channels. Make sure the master, okay. So I'm actually gonna solo the first one and call this saw 1 and call this one saw 2. So if we listen to saw 1, I'm actually playing on C2. Oh, and I forgot to change the drivers. So now we should hear it. So on both of these, I want to change the range to 12. And the polyphonic to 2. I'm also going to turn up the frequency on both of them all the way. So basically what we're doing in the first subtractor is we're just going to basically copy everything from the first one down to the second one. So in fact, instead of just doing multiple move this and move that, I'm actually going to copy the patch, or I'm going to save the patch and then reload it in the second one. So for right now, we're only going to be working on the first one until we need to modify the second controls. Sorry, texting can be a bitch. Anyways, so right now we're messing with the oscillator 1. That's very rich, very saw-like because it's a saw. So I'm going to change these, let me see what both of these do. I'm just going to leave them at 0 and I want to turn the second one on. Now we're getting this like duplication of noise, and I'm actually going to turn the oscillator down second one, so we should get a full range right now. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm also going to turn up on the amp envelope, the decay and the sustain all the way up, and give it a little bit of release. So I'm really big on modulation and bending, so I'm gonna have the filter frequency go down all the way. So when we turn up the modulation, we're gonna get a reverse. Instead of going from higher, this goes from lower. I'm also gonna turn the phase a bit, and I'm not gonna mess with any of the FM because we're not making a frequency modulation, we're making an additive synth patch. And I think I'll show you how to wobble things later, but for now we're just going to make a very simple saw patch. Saw 1 patch. And we're going to load it into our second one. Go to custom patches, subtractor, saw 1. Now if we have a listen to saw 2, it sounds the exact same. So for right now, I would like to take the octaves down a little bit and change the passes to positive. Now this sounds like super gritty, and that's because the second octave. Too bad we can't turn the first one off. This second octave is way too low. So I'm actually going to change this to a sine wave. And now we have a sub in with our saw patches, so we don't need to mess with any of those. So if we have a listen, I'm actually going to turn the levels down to 90 and to about 80. That sounds about right. So after this, in order to create that pumping movement, we're going to need two... we can do this two ways. We can do this with a spider audio merger, and I'll show you how to do this one, or we can have two compressors. So I'm going to show you both ways. And we're back. So I figured it out, and turns out we don't need the spider audio merger and splitter since we have the line 6 mixer. We can just take the sends from the input and the return from the output, and then we can just plug in the sidechain and turn up the aux for each channel. So if you have a listen. Yeah, I totally forgot. When I play notes, they have to be an octave higher because it'll mute the red drum. But that's just my controller. I'm sure if I used the piano keys, it won't do that. So that's our synth saw patch. It's very simple, very easy, but also very cool to work with it for Electro house. Let me take off the solo. So I think I'll just play you guys out with a simple beat.